Doesn't want to hug a rabbit. That does it for 8 News at 5:30. Stay tuned. 8 News at 6 starts next.
8 News starts now with your Storm Tracker 8 forecast first.
Hi everybody, Storm Tracker 8 Chief Meteorologist John Bernier. Fair skies tonight across the area. One more night for a while. Then we're going to be headed down into the mid to upper 20s across the area. We'll get into the 30s in a hurry. About 30 degrees when you head to work tomorrow morning. Low temperature for us 28. The cool spots about 25 or 26, but there's some mild weather in the forecast. We're talking about it next on 8 News at 6.
Now on 8 News at 6, an early morning apartment fire killing one person, injuring more, and leaving families without their home. Where fire crews are in their investigation and insight into who was killed. Plus, issue after issue for the Richmond School Board, and now one group is taking aim at its leadership, calling for the removal of the superintendent. Where the school board stands on this call to action tonight.
Live with the news where you live. 8 News at 6 starts now.
New tonight out of Petersburg, neighbors are speaking out after an early morning apartment fire left a child dead, several others injured, and several families displaced. You're watching 8 News at 6. I'm Childress in for Eric tonight.
I'm Deanna. Allbrittin. 8 News reporter Madison Moore is live at the Pine Tree apartment complex. Madison, what can you tell us?
Well, Deanna, Petersburg officials have confirmed this person who died is a child, and the child's 3 family members are currently being treated at a hospital. But just being here today, talking with neighbors, heartbreaking is the only word to describe this.
I heard a loud thump, and come to find out it was the building next door. The whole thing was on fire.
Pine Tree resident Ellen Booth waking up in fear this morning as a massive fire killed a child and injured an adult.
The fire department came in and told me I had to come out my apartment because the fire was coming over into my building.
Fire officials believe the early morning blaze started in the kitchen of this bottom apartment and then spread to the unit above. They also say that the child who died lived in the apartment with their 3 family members, and were told one member was taken to VCU hospital in critical condition. Neighbors tell us they saw a woman running back and forth into the burning apartment to save a family member.
It's heartbreaking because even though we don't know each other personally, you just think about all the stuff already going on in the world, and for somebody to lose anybody, it's very devastating.
Shawanda Green lives in the complex with 5 kids of her own and tells me she can't imagine what this family is going through.
I will continue to pray. I've talked to my kids already, let them know what happened, asked them to pray because they know the word of prayer. So that's just pretty much it. I'm so sorry for their loss and what they're going through.
It's a sad situation, and we just encourage everybody to be fire safe. You know, make sure everything's off, make sure things are unplugged that don't need to be plugged in, and just be fire safe.
Now, the Virginia Red Cross was on scene this morning, and right now they are currently assisting 6 separate families who were displaced because of this fire. Now, this is still under investigation, so stick with 8 News on air and online as we continue to follow the story. Live in Petersburg tonight, I'm Madison Moore, 8 News.
Thanks, Madison. New tonight, from chronic absenteeism to mold in the classroom, Richmond schools have faced their share of challenges in recent years. And now a local group is pointing the finger at leadership, calling for the removal of Superintendent Jason Childress. 8 News reporter Sierra Krug joins us live with the details. Sierra.
Well, Deanna, the organization Richmond Crusade for Voters cited a list of 10 shortcomings they feel weren't changed in how the Richmond public school system operates. I talked with at least half of the school board today. Some members were hesitant to place all of the blame on the superintendent, but admitted data from the report was correct and telling. In an email, a group called the Richmond Crusade for Voters called out Richmond schools' quote, failures in fulfilling goals outlined in Superintendent Jason Childress' 5-year plan launched in 2018. Data from the Virginia Department of Education confirms the district's rate of chronic absenteeism has increased overall since Childress took the job. The group also calls attention to the declining graduation rate. While it peaked as high as 79% in 2021, it did fall to last year. There's also claims he's failed to increase student satisfaction. The group cited multiple shootings involving Richmond students, some happening at school-sponsored events and even on a school campus last year. In a statement, school board member Kenya Gibson said, quote, "I don't have confidence that our administration is equipped to bring a culture shift where workers are empowered to identify and address the problems at hand." Board member Don Page acknowledged the shortcomings but urged people to also look at the school system's gains. School board member Jonathan Young agreed that Richmond Public Schools is, quote, "failing as is," but he remains in support of the superintendent and their shared commitment to, quote, "bold transformation." He highlighted school year extension plans and new cell phone policies. Richmond Public Schools refused to comment ahead of the school board meeting tonight, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. Live in the Digital Center, Sierra Krug, 8 News.
Sierra, thanks. The Supreme Court decided today to not hear another case concerning the role of race in school admissions. Months after the conservative majority struck down affirmative action in college admissions, a lawsuit claimed a Northern Virginia high school's admissions process discriminates against Asian Americans because it got rid of a standardized test and gives weight to low-income applicants and those still learning English. In 2022, a federal judge found the school board had done illegal, quote, racial balancing with this policy. Happening now, a Richmond school board meeting is underway. They will be voting on the proposed budget. Close to half of the proposed budget will be used for construction purposes across multiple Richmond schools. And we will, of course, keep you updated on the board's actions throughout the night, online and tonight on 8 News at 11.
In your Capital Connection tonight, the Senate passed a bill to remove certain tax exemptions for certain Confederate organizations. Capitol Bureau reporter Tyler Englander joins us live from the state capitol with the latest. Tyler.
Autumn, the bill would require certain Confederate organizations, most notably the United Daughters of the Confederacy, to pay property taxes, something they're currently exempt from doing. The Virginia Senate has approved a bill to strip certain Confederate organizations of certain tax breaks. The bill, which was approved by the House earlier in this session with slightly different language, would require 3 groups, including the United Daughters of the Confederacy, to pay certain property and real estate taxes if the bill is signed by Governor Glenn Youngkin. Delegate Alex Askew.
It's not about necessarily a First Amendment argument. It's about who we're giving special privileges to and what they stood for. All right, we know that United Daughters Confederacy has pushed the narrative of the lost cause, and we don't need to continue to support that in our tax code.
And now I reached out to the United Daughters of the Confederacy by phone and by email to get their reaction to the bill, but didn't hear back. Meanwhile, the bill has passed both the House and the Senate, but because the Senate added an amendment, it still has one more hurdle to clear before heading to Governor Glenn Youngkin's desk. Live at the state capitol, Tyler Englander, 8 News.
Thanks, Tyler. A road in Henrico was closed this afternoon after a truck hit a power pole. This happened sometime before 1:30 and closed Strath Road in Henrico's East End. Police are encouraging the public to avoid that area as they work to clean up. We have not received any word that this road has opened back up, so exercise caution if you do need to drive through that area. Richmond's March for Life is taking place tomorrow, starting with a rally at the state capitol building. Ahead of this event, expect delays in downtown Richmond tomorrow as this event could impact your commute. That event does start at 11 a.m. And you're Positively Richmond tonight. A Richmond Animal Center and first responders worked together to save a dog stranded on an island.
Yeah, this happened yesterday near Forest Hill Park on Riverside Drive and Hillcrest Road. And that's where we find 8 News reporter Jamal Williams. So Jamal, what do we know happened here?
Well, Autumn, Deanna, this park is known for many people who walk their pets here daily, but it's still a mystery how this dog got onto an island in the first place. Now, a Facebook post from Richmond Animal Care and Control says they used boats to rescue the pup near Reedy Creek with help from Richmond Fire and Emergency Services Water Rescue. As you can see from photos, she looks very friendly, and the organization decided to name her Reedy. You may also notice the collar around the dog's neck, but there's no indication that it has an owner, and we'll have that information for you once we know more. Live in Richmond, Jamal Williams, 8 News.
Thanks, Jamal. So happy they were able to help the pup.
Absolutely. Always good to see a family reconnected. Still ahead tonight, an engineer is taking great care to make veteran amputees return to a normal life. More on her project, Rugged Redemption, after the break. Baby.
All right, folks, temperatures tonight down to the mid to upper 20s once again, but probably a degree or so for many of you warmer than what you saw this morning. Another pleasant day tomorrow, but then we'll end the work week with a little bit of rain. We'll talk about it coming up.
You're watching 8 News at 6. We cover the news where you live.
From the Grove to Bowling Green, stay with us. 8 News at 6 is back after the break.
Back-to-back Regional Murrow Award winner for overall excellence. You're watching 8 News.
Well, tonight, one engineer is looking to make life easier for veterans who need prosthetics. You're watching 8 News at 6. I'm Childress.
I'm Deanna Allbrittin. Sarah Malinowski has heard concerns from veterans who say prosthetics they've used were not allowing them to live a normal life. Reporter Annalisa Gale has Malinowski's journey to creating her product, Rugged Redemption.
As a mechanical engineer, we're designing all these crazy things for cars. Why can't we do that for a person, and why hasn't this been done yet?
While getting her bachelor's in mechanical engineering, Sarah Malinowski started working at a prosthetic clinic.
Many of the people that were coming in were veterans, and they kept telling me their limitations.
The concerns raised by amputees moved her into action, and she started working on this prosthetic knee prototype, which is now known as Rugged Redemption.
I've built, these linkage systems that actually follow our natural dynamic of how our knee moves. And along with that, I'm just using a type of cylinder that actually just actuates it and acts as your hamstring muscle. So I'm actually just replicating everything that our body has. So right now I'm focusing all my efforts on the knee. It's actually one of the hardest joints of the human body.
She says the technology will help amputees to get through their everyday routines with less hassle.
Anything that's on the market only has a sensor inside of the prosthetic, which is really limiting because it doesn't actually see then the rest of what the person is doing. And so mine is going to be taking in data, from their lower back, from their upper thigh.
And for the past few years, she has been doing research in Ukraine as well for this prototype. She's scheduled to make her second trip soon to meet with amputees, some who have lost their legs in the war.
Then coming back with that knowledge, testing it on a few amputees here in America as well.
And what has the reaction been like from veterans who have been waiting for this?
It makes you cry. A lot of the times they start telling you things that oh my gosh, I can finally go running with my kid again, or I can go walk my dog and not worry about them pulling me over.
Malinowski, who is originally from Minnesota, says her mission is much bigger than sales. She hopes Rugged Redemption will be available by the end of the year.
It's mission focused. It's not money focused. Money comes when you're doing something great. The goal is to, allow people to regain and maintain their active lifestyles, really.
Everyone deserves a chance at life again, especially the life they once had, especially those who have sacrificed so much. And she's right. We spent all this money researching how to do cool things for cars, but functional things for these veterans?
Right. That can help change someone's life. And I like what you said. It's mission focused. It's not money focused.
Yeah.
Because if you're following, a mission and serving others, of course, the money will come. So I hope that this will be able to improve the lives of a lot of folks.
Yeah, she knows her why.
She absolutely does. Well, we are gearing up here in RVA for a summer filled with concerts. T-Pain has announced he's making a stop in Doswell. Find out when those tickets go on sale. Coming up on 8 News at 6. JB.
And a little rain, not T-rain, is going to make a stop here Friday morning across the area. The models want to give us about ½ inch of rain. I think most of us will stay under ¼ inch. If we can get out of here quick, you have a nice mild Friday afternoon headed your way. My forecast is coming up next.
Grab your phone, take a moment, and scan this code to sign up for the 8 News newsletter. All you have to do is open your camera, point it at the screen, and get the newsletter of your dreams. You'll get daily news, breaking alerts, weather, contests, and more delivered right to your inbox. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and sign up now.
An update tonight, the Virginia Department of Emergency has announced a date change for the statewide tornado drill. That new date will now be March 7th at 9:45 a.m. The Washington Nationals have reported to spring training this week, with owner Mark Lerner updating fans on the search for a new owner. After the nearly 2-year search, the Lerner family has decided not to sell the team. This comes just months after the nearby Baltimore Orioles sold for over $1 billion.
The most accurate forecast in Central Virginia. Now, your Storm Tracker 8 weather.
Hi, everybody. Storm Tracker 8 Chief Meteorologist John Bernier now dipping through the 40s across the area as we have reached sunset here in Central Virginia. 41 degrees Williamsburg, Tappahannock. We're sitting at 45, 44 degrees Louisa. Still holding on to 50 over in Charlottesville. Again, we've had fair skies throughout the day. A little disturbance sitting off the coastline, and we've got a big fair weather system that's kind of protecting us. That's what's shunting this off to the east, but the backside of that, you see a little plume of moisture coming across the Carolinas up into the southwestern part of the state and then crossing up into the mountains. That's about it that's going on anywhere near us right now. You can widen the view out, you see just nothing happening across the region. Real-time Viper radar, obviously, if you don't have any clouds, you don't have a lot of rainfall. All the rainfall is back out over portions of California, up moving into Nevada in some of those areas here. So tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're going to start the day off with maybe a cloud or two around. It's essentially a mostly sunny day, very similar to today. We take into the afternoon hours. We're in good shape. We made it to 53 today, so 53, 54. That should be the high temperature for tomorrow over us. Tomorrow night, I think we stay above freezing. And then we head into Thursday. We start you off with mostly sunny skies. We're going to see some clouds coming in later in the day. Those clouds, as they start to pick up Thursday afternoon, are all out ahead of a weather system that's coming in here late Thursday night, Friday morning. That's going to be the story with this. So this is going to slide through here. It'll obviously keep us mild as we go into Friday mornings. We'll see temperatures in the upper 40s, actually about probably what it is outside right now when you wake up. And if we can get it out of the way quickly, and I mean quickly on Friday, we could get temperatures up into the lower 60s. All right, after that, the next thing to look at is what's going to be going on out here as we head towards potentially next Tuesday or so. We're going to get warm air streaming northward into the eastern part of the country early next week. And there's a pretty good storm system back west of this. As it advances to the east, we may see an outbreak of strong thunderstorms. They do happen when you get very warm in February. Those could be coming through here as we head into the middle of the day next Wednesday. The timing of it will determine whether we have thunderstorms or not. But once we get past this upcoming weekend, there's going to be some warm temperatures headed your way. So 53, 58, 63 if the clouds skedaddle on Friday. A little cooler for Saturday into Sunday. It's still very pleasant for us here. And then the warm air kicks into gear. And again, this is the day I'm watching that could be a little stormy over us here. Deanna?
Thanks, JB. American Airlines is making some changes to its fees and its reward program. The airline's bag fees will now be raised to $35 if bought online and $40 if bought at the airport for domestic flights. The airline is also pushing you to buy tickets directly from American Airlines if you want to earn those frequent flyer points. Passengers on a United Airlines flight were diverted after a flap issue was discovered by crew members. You can see the damage here on your screen to the Boeing 757. This flight took off from San Francisco yesterday, heading to Boston when it was forced to land in Denver to address the issue. Passengers were able to get to Boston later the day. The FAA is currently trying to figure out what exactly caused that damage. Very scary to look out at your window and see that.
My goodness. Well, Friday Cheers is hitting Browns Island again this spring. We'll break down some of the lineup after the break. Stay with us.
Tonight, New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu joins Chris to talk Nikki Haley's determination in the fight for the GOP presidential nomination. Does she have what it takes to win over voters in this primary and beyond? Tonight on Cuomo, starting at 8 Eastern. And tomorrow, a News Nation exclusive.
Because they got word that I was going to be doing another interview with News Nation, so that was their way of trying to intimidate me.
Todd Chrisley from behind bars. The alleged retaliation for speaking his truth. Banfield tomorrow, only on News Nation.
Friday Cheers Richmond Spring Concert Series has announced the lineup for the 2024 season. Artist Bella White will kick off the line of concerts, and Sam Barber will be wrapping up the series in June. It all starts May 3rd at Browns Island. For a full list of artists and ticket links, visit this story on our website, WRIC.com. Artist T-Pain is bringing his Mansion in Wisconsin tour through our area in June. The Grammy Award-winning artist will be performing at the Meadow Event Park in Doswell on June 13th. Pre-sale tickets go on sale tomorrow, and the tickets for the general public go live this Friday at 10 a.m.
You know I wanted to start.
So did I. So did I.
Held it together. I held it. All right. Well, this isn't something you see turn up at Goodwill every day. A rare 14-karat Lego piece was found in a Goodwill warehouse in Pennsylvania, and it's now up for auction. Now, it's believed there are only 30 of these pieces ever made. Goodwill says bids for the piece are now up to $4,000 and will most likely keep climbing.
Oh my gosh.
$4,000 already. I wonder how much it's going to climb to. I mean, I guess if people really want it,
it can just keep climbing. Yeah, it's a supply and demand, and there's one in the supply. And I don't know, there's a whole lot of Lego fans out there, so there might be quite the demand.
Yeah, and only 30 of them out there. Go grab you one. $4,000, but you got to bring that money.
Yeah.
All right, 6:26. We'll be right back.
All right, one final look at the forecast again. Fair skies tonight, mid to upper 20s. Another nice day tomorrow, about 53, 54 degrees. Then the clouds coming in later Thursday. Overnight Thursday through Friday morning, we get some rain over the area. We get the clouds to break quick enough on Friday. We'll get up to about 63 degrees. Then a little dip in temperatures over the weekend. The weekend's going to be pleasant over us. It's mild next week, but again, very warm weather. The Midwest, the eastern part of the country, could bring some storms.
Love that we've gotten to see so much of the sun.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here.